The arena floor was slick with purple blood, steam rising from the acidic puddle where Zek'thor the Destroyer had collapsed just moments before. 20,000 alien spectators sat in stunned silence, their various breathing apparatuses whistling and clicking in the sudden quiet. The massive holographic displays flickered, showing the same impossible image over and over. A human cadet, barely 18 Earth years old, standing over the corpse of the galaxy's most feared gladiator. Maya Chen wiped her plasma blade on her torn uniform sleeve, her hand steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. She looked up at the royal viewing box where Lord Vex'hai sat frozen on his crystalline throne. The Dominion Overlord's 6 eyes were wide with disbelief, his scale face cycling through colors that indicated extreme shock among his species. "Well," Maya called out, her voice carrying clearly through the arena's acoustic enhancement system. "Anybody else want to dance?" The silence stretched for another heartbeat. Then Lord Vex'hai's voice boomed through the speakers, translated into a dozen languages simultaneously. "Impossible!" His rage made the arena support beams vibrate. Who dares slay my champion?" Maya raised her hand casually, like a student answering a question in class. The gesture was so mundane, so utterly human, that several alien species in the crowd made sounds equivalent to nervous laughter. "That would be me, your royal scaliness," she said with a grin that didn't reach her eyes. "Cadet Maya Chen, 3rd Expeditionary Fleet. Currently enjoying an all-expenses-paid vacation on your lovely prison planet." Lord Vex'hai's throne descended from the viewing box on repulsor fields, bringing him down to arena level. His 7-foot frame unfolded with predatory grace, ceremonial armor plates shifting and adjusting to accommodate his movement. The weapon ports on his gauntlets began to glow with ominous energy. "You mock me, little mammal," he hissed, his translator giving his words a sibilant, dangerous quality. "Do you comprehend what you have done?" Zek'thor was undefeated in 300 battles. He had slain warriors from every corner of the galaxy. Maya examined her fingernails with exaggerated interest. "Yeah, well, maybe he should have tried dodging once in a while. Just a thought." The crowd erupted. Some species roared approval at her audacity. Others screeched in outrage. The betting pools were going absolutely insane as odds calculations crashed throughout the stadium's computer systems. No algorithm had been programmed to handle a scenario where the prize gladiator died in the first 30 seconds of combat. 300 victories. Maya continued conversationally, walking in a slow circle around Zek'thor's cooling corpse. "Impressive resume. Too bad it ends with killed by human teenager. That's got to sting the old ego, doesn't it?" Lord Vex'hai's color shifted to deep crimson, indicating murderous fury. "You will pay for this insult, creature. I will see you flayed alive before this crowd. Your death will be so excruciating that your species will sing cautionary tales about it for generations." "Oh, promises, promises," Maya laughed, but her eyes remained cold as Arctic ice. "You know what? I'm getting really tired of you alien types thinking you can just push humans around. Really, really tired." She began walking toward the throne, her plasma blade still humming with lethal energy. Lord Vex'hai's guard started to move, but he held up a clawed hand, stopping them. "You wish to face me personally?" His mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "How delightfully primitive. Very well, little mammal. I accept your challenge." "Challenge?" Maya's eyebrows rose. "Oh, your lordship, you misunderstand. This isn't a challenge." Her voice dropped to a whisper that somehow carried through the entire arena. "This is payback." The temperature in the arena seemed to drop several degrees. Even the alien spectators, representing dozens of species with wildly different biology, could sense the shift in atmosphere. Something dangerous had entered their carefully controlled entertainment. Lord Vex'hai activated his personal combat armor, energy fields crackling around his form. "Payback? For what possible slight could you seek revenge, human? Your species has been part of the Dominion for less than a solar cycle." Maya's smile was razor-sharp. Tommy Martinez. The name meant nothing to the crowd, but Lord Vex'hai's color shifted to a sickly yellow. Recognition. "Ah, yes! The other human cadet. Regrettable that he perished during interrogation, but information extraction is often fatal to lesser species. Lesser species, Maya repeated slowly. You know, that's exactly what Tommy said you'd call us, right before you had him torn apart by those crawler bots of yours. She was close enough now that Lord Vex'hai had to look down at her, despite his impressive height. The energy weapons on his gauntlets powered up with an ominous whine. One human soldier means nothing in the grand scheme of galactic politics, he said dismissively. Your kind will learn their place in the Dominion hierarchy soon enough. Our place? Maya laughed, and there was no humor in the sound at all. Oh, we know our place all right. We're the species that just killed your unbeatable champion in 30 seconds. We're the species that turned your interrogation session into a rescue mission when my squad broke Tommy out of your torture chambers. Lord Vex'hai's 6 eyes widened. Impossible. Security footage showed the human dying under questioning. Security footage can be faked, Maya said cheerfully, especially when one of your own tech officers has been feeding information to the Resistance for the past 6 months. Thanks for that, by the way. Korvac sends his regards. The revelation hit Lord Vex'hai like a plasma bolt. His most trusted technical advisor, a traitor, his undefeatable champion, dead. His prized prisoner, escaped. His carefully maintained image of invincibility, shattered before 20,000 witnesses. You orchestrated all of this, he breathed. Oh, now you're getting it. Maya clapped her hands together. See, here's what actually happened. Tommy's alive and well, currently helping coordinate strike teams against your supply convoys. The footage of his death? Professional acting job. Academy Drama Club, what can I say? And me getting captured and thrown into your arena? She spread her arms wide. Well, somebody had to deliver the message. What message? Maya's expression went deadly serious. That humanity doesn't forgive. We don't forget. And we sure as hell don't kneel. Lord Vex'hai raised his weapons, energy crackling between his claws. Enough. I will end this farce personally. You can try, Maya said, settling into a combat stance. But here's a fun fact about humans that maybe your intelligence files missed. We're persistence predators. Once we decide you're prey, we don't stop hunting until you're dead. The first energy blast barely missed her head as she rolled left, coming up in a crouch. Lord Vex'hai was powerful, but his armor made him slow. Maya had spent months studying recordings of Dominion combat techniques, learning their weaknesses. We evolved chasing down mammoths across frozen continents, she called out, dodging another blast. We hunted giant predators with nothing but sharpened sticks and teamwork. You really think your fancy armor scares us? Her plasma blade found a gap in his armor plating, drawing a line of sizzling ichor across his thigh. Lord Vex'hai roared in pain and fury, spinning to track her movement. Stand still and die with honor, he bellowed. Honor? Maya laughed as she vaulted over his clumsy swing. You want to talk about honor? You torture prisoners for information they don't have. You enslave entire species for entertainment. You turn children into gladiators for your amusement. Her blade found another gap, this time in his shoulder joint. Where exactly is the honor in that? The crowd was on their feet now, cheering and screaming as the impossible continued to unfold. The small human was not just surviving against the Dominion Lord. She was winning. Lord Vex'hai stumbled, his left arm hanging useless from Maya's precise strikes. This cannot be happening, he gasped. I am Vex'hai the Conqueror. I have destroyed worlds. Past tense, Maya observed, ducking under a wild swing. You were Vex'hai the Conqueror. Now you're just another bully who picked on the wrong species. Her final strike was almost anticlimactic. A simple thrust between armor plates, right through the primary heart. Lord Vex'hai collapsed beside his champion, purple blood mixing with the earlier stain on the arena floor. Maya stood over his body, addressing the stunned crowd through the arena's speakers. Let this be a lesson to anyone else who thinks humanity is weak, she declared. We're not the biggest species in the galaxy. We're not the strongest or the fastest or the most technologically advanced. She paused, looking directly into the hovering camera drones. But We are the most stubborn and the most creative, and when you hurt one of us, you make enemies of all of us. The arena erupted in chaos. Some aliens fled in terror. Others roared approval. Security forces scrambled to respond, but their chain of command had just been decapitated on live galactic television. Maya calmly walked to the arena's center and activated her emergency beacon. Within minutes, the distinctive blue glow of human transport technology filled the space as her extraction team materialized. Mission accomplished? Asked Sergeant Rodriguez, surveying the carnage. 2 for 2, Maya confirmed, stepping over Lord Vex'hai's corpse. Champions dead, message delivered, and I think we just started a revolution. As they prepared to teleport out, Maya turned back to the crowd one final time. By the way, she called out cheerfully, tell the new management that humanity formally withdraws from the Dominion, effective immediately. Have a nice day. The transport beam engaged, whisking the human strike team away and leaving behind an empire in chaos, a crowd in shock, and a very clear message that the age of easy conquest was over. In the royal viewing box, now empty except for scattered alien dignitaries, a small device beeped softly. The message it transmitted would reach every corner of human space within hours. Operation Payback complete. Time to come home. 6 months later, aboard the human flagship Victory's Edge, Admiral Sarah Kane stood before a tactical display showing the former Dominion space. Red zones indicated ongoing rebellion. Blue zones showed successful human liberation operations. The green zones were species that had voluntarily joined the newly formed Terran Alliance. There was a lot more blue and green than anyone had expected. Report from the Kepler sector, Admiral. Called out Communications Officer Park, his voice barely containing excitement. The Zephyrian Republic has formally requested alliance status. That makes 17 species in the past month. Kane nodded approvingly. What's the situation with the Dominion remnants? Fragmenting rapidly, reported Intelligence Chief Watson, highlighting several systems on the display. After Lord Vex'hai's death, succession wars broke out across 12 sectors. The surviving lords are too busy fighting each other to organize any coherent response to our expansion. Good, Kane said with grim satisfaction. What about our special operative? A new voice answered from the doorway. Still causing trouble wherever I go, Admiral. Kane turned to see Maya Chen striding onto the bridge, now wearing the insignia of a full lieutenant despite her young age. Battle honors and campaign ribbons decorated her uniform, telling the story of 6 months of continuous warfare. Lieutenant Chen, Kane acknowledged. I hear congratulations are in order. The liberation of Proxima Station was textbook. Maya shrugged casually. Standard smash and grab operation, ma'am. Though I'll admit, watching those Dominion slavers run screaming when they saw human Marines was pretty entertaining. The psychological impact of your arena stunt continues to pay dividends, Kane observed. Half the galaxy thinks humans are unstoppable killing machines. The other half wants to join us to make sure they're on the winning side. Fear and respect, Maya mused. I can work with that combination. Lieutenant Commander Roberts approached with a data pad. Admiral, we've received a priority transmission from the Galactic Council. They're requesting a formal audience. Kane raised an eyebrow. The same council that refused to condemn Dominion slavery practices for the past century? The very same, ma'am, Roberts confirmed. Apparently, they're concerned about destabilizing influences in their territory. Maya snorted with amusement. Translation: they're scared we might liberate their slaves, too. That's a distinct possibility, Kane admitted. What's their formal position? Roberts consulted his pad. They want to negotiate a ceasefire between humanity and the remaining Dominion forces. They're offering to mediate a peace settlement. A peace settlement, Maya repeated slowly. After they stood by and watched the Dominion conquer and enslave dozens of species. After they did nothing when our first contact team was murdered. After they ignored every diplomatic overture we made for help. Her voice was getting dangerously quiet. How generous of them. Kane studied the tactical display, thoughtfully. What's the Council's real concern here, Lieutenant? Economics, mostly, Maya replied with a predatory smile. The Dominion supplied cheap slave labor to half the galaxy. With their infrastructure collapsing, production costs are skyrocketing across 12 sectors. The council members are seeing their profit margins evaporate. Ah, Kane nodded. So this isn't about peace at all. It's about preserving their business model. Exactly. They want us to stop liberating worlds, so their supply chains can stabilize. Communications Officer Park looked up from a station. Admiral, there's more. The transmission included a formal threat. If we don't agree to negotiations within 72 hours, they'll authorize military intervention to restore order. The bridge fell silent. Maya started laughing. They're threatening us, she gasped between chuckles. The same species that couldn't stop the Dominion when they were unified are on take on humanity after we've just spent 6 months proving we eat galactic superpowers for breakfast? Kane's expression remained neutral. What do you recommend, Lieutenant? Maya's laughter died, replaced by cold calculation. I recommend we send them a message they'll understand. The same way we sent one to Lord Vex'hai. Explain. The Council meets on Nexus Prime, neutral territory in the galactic core. Heavily defended. Supposedly impregnable. They think their location makes them untouchable. Maya's smile was sharp enough to cut steel. Let's prove them wrong. Roberts looked alarmed. Lieutenant, you're talking about attacking the galactic capital. The defense platforms alone would stop a full battle fleet. Who said anything about attacking? Maya asked innocently. I'm talking about making a diplomatic visit. With style. Kane studied her protege carefully. What exactly do you have in mind? The council chamber has those dramatic skylights, right? The ones that open to show off the city below during important sessions. Maya pulled up architectural files on her tablet. What if a certain human operative happened to drop in during their next meeting? Uninvited, unannounced, and completely bypassing every single one of their security measures. That's suicide, Roberts protested. Even if you could penetrate their defenses, you'd be outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Numbers don't matter when you control the narrative, Maya countered. Besides, I won't be alone. Sergeant Martinez owes me a favor. Kane blinked. Tommy Martinez? The one whose supposed death started this whole conflict. The very same. He's been coordinating resistance cells throughout the core worlds. His network could get me into position and, more importantly, broadcast everything live to the entire galaxy. What would be the point? Roberts asked. Even a successful infiltration wouldn't accomplish anything militarily. Maya's expression turned deadly serious. It would accomplish something much more important. It would prove that nowhere in the galaxy is safe from human retribution. Not their fleets, not their fortresses, not even their most secure political chambers. Kane nodded slowly. Fear and respect. Exactly. Right now, they think they can threaten us because they don't truly understand what humanity is capable of. They see our military victories and assume we're just another aggressive species with good weapons. They don't grasp the fundamental difference, which is, we don't fight wars to conquer territory or gather resources. We fight wars to send messages. And the message we've been sending for the past 6 months is simple. Mess with humanity, and we will systematically dismantle everything you've built piece by piece until there's nothing left but rubble and regret. Park called out from his station again. Admiral, incoming transmission from the Antaran Defense League. They're reporting massive Dominion fleet movements in the Outer Rim. Looks like the surviving lords are finally organizing a counterattack. Kane frowned. Force composition? At least 200 ships, including their remaining dreadnoughts. They're targeting our supply bases in the Vega system. Standard response protocol. Kane ordered. Alert 5th and 7th fleets. Coordinate with local defense forces. She turned back to Maya. Your infiltration mission will have to wait. We need every asset focused on this threat. Maya shook her head. This is exactly why we need to hit the council now. Don't you see? This Dominion counterattack isn't happening in a vacuum. Somebody's funding their fleet reorganization, supplying intelligence about our positions. The council members who profit from stability are helping their old business partners make one last play. The realization hit Kane like a thunderbolt. You think the Council is actively supporting the Dominion remnants? I know they are, Maya said grimly. Martinez's intelligence network intercepted financial transfers last week. 3 Council species have been funneling credits and supplies to Lord Kethvar's faction. They want him to bloody our nose badly enough that we'll accept their mediated peace. Roberts was staring at the tactical display with new understanding. They're playing both sides, publicly offering to mediate while secretly helping our enemies. Which makes this the perfect time for a dramatic entrance, Maya continued. Imagine the galactic reaction when I walk into their council chamber and present evidence of their treachery on live broadcast. Their credibility gets shattered. Their conspiracy gets exposed. And suddenly every species in the galaxy knows exactly who's been prolonging this conflict. Kane was quiet for a long moment, weighing options and consequences. Finally, she nodded. Do it. But Maya... She fixed the young officer with a stern look. Come back alive. Humanity has invested too much in your particular brand of chaos to lose you to heroic stupidity. Maya grinned. Don't worry, Admiral. I've learned a few new tricks since the arena. This should be fun. 3 days later, the Galactic Council was an emergency session. The Dominion counterattack had been not just defeated but annihilated, with human forces demonstrating tactical innovations that left military analysts scrambling to understand how they'd achieved such devastating results. Council Speaker Vex'hai called for order as the various delegates argued about response options. Esteemed colleagues, we must face reality. The human expansion cannot be contained through conventional means. Then we authorize direct intervention, snapped Councillor Vex'hai, Lord Vex'hai's cousin and heir to the family's remaining assets. Military force is the only language these primitives understand. With what fleet? Demanded Councillor Zek'thor of the Maritime Confederation. Every species that's tried to match human naval tactics has suffered catastrophic losses. Their ships fight like they have nothing to lose. Because they don't, observed Councillor Midran quietly. We keep thinking of this as territorial expansion, but it's not. They're conducting a revenge campaign. They won't stop until they've extracted payment for every perceived injustice. The argument continued for another hour, growing more heated as each delegate tried to shift blame for the deteriorating situation. Finally, Vex'hai called for a recess, opening the chamber's ceremonial skylights to let in fresh air and natural light. That's when Maya Chen dropped through the ceiling. She landed in a perfect crouch on the speaker's podium, having rappelled down from a stealth aircraft hovering 3 miles above the chamber. Every security system in the building had somehow been bypassed. Every guard mysteriously called away on false alarms. The council delegates froze in shock as the human straightened up, brushing dust off her diplomatic uniform. She looked exactly like what she was, a predator who had just walked into a room full of prey. Good afternoon, esteemed counselors, she said pleasantly, her voice carrying clearly through the chamber's acoustic systems. I'm Lieutenant Maya Chen, representing humanity's interests in these proceedings. I believe you've been discussing us. Councillor Vex'hai recovered first, rising from his seat with weapons powering up. Seize her. This is an act of war. Maya didn't even look in his direction. Actually, this is a diplomatic mission. I'm here to present evidence of Council involvement in funding Dominion military operations against human civilians. She activated a holographic projector, filling the air above the chamber with financial records, communication intercepts, and shipping manifests. This is fabricated, Vex'hai protested, but his voice lacked conviction. Is it? Maya asked cheerfully. Because I have receipts. Bank transfers from the Thylorian Commercial Alliance to Lord Kethvar's fleet. Weapons shipments from the Nexus Defense Consortium. Intelligence reports sold to Dominion commanders by Council staff members. Each accusation was accompanied by damning evidence projected for all to see. The revelation sent shockwaves through the chamber. Several delegates began arguing among themselves, pointing fingers and denying involvement. Others sat in stunned silence as their secret dealings were exposed to galactic scrutiny. The point is, Maya continued conversationally, you've been playing games with human lives, pretending to offer mediation while secretly prolonging the conflict. That's about to stop. You cannot threaten the Galactic Council. Vex'hai snarled, finally finding his courage. Maya smiled, and every survival instinct in the room started screaming warnings. Oh, I'm not threatening you. I'm informing you. The age of council authority is over. The age of human expansion has begun. She activated another device, this one broadcasting her words live to every communication network in the galaxy. To the enslaved species watching this transmission, humanity offers you freedom and alliance. To the council members who profit from oppression, your business model is obsolete. To the Dominion remnants still planning revenge, we're coming for you next. Security forces finally breached the chamber doors, energy weapons at ready. Maya didn't resist as they surrounded her, still smiling that predatory smile. One last thing, she called out as they placed restraints around her wrists. The next time you think about threatening humanity, remember this moment. Remember how easily one human walked into your most secure location. And ask yourselves, if we can reach you here, where exactly do you think you're safe? The transport beam activated, whisking Maya away before the security forces could react. She materialized aboard Victory's Edge to find Admiral Kane waiting with an expression of amused pride. Mission accomplished? Kane asked. Beyond our wildest expectations, Maya replied, handing over a data chip. Complete intelligence on Council military assets, financial networks, and communication protocols. Their entire security infrastructure is now compromised. And the political impact? Maya's grin was answer enough. Within hours, revolution erupted across the galaxy as enslaved populations rose up against their masters, confident that human support would follow. The Galactic Council's authority crumbled as member species either fled or joined the growing Terran Alliance. The age of easy oppression was over. The age of human justice had begun. And somewhere in the ruins of the arena where it all started, maintenance crews were still scrubbing purple stains on the floor, wondering how one small human had changed the course of galactic history with nothing but courage, determination, and a very sharp blade. The answer was simple. She was human, and humans don't forgive, don't forget, and don't kneel. Ever.